Hey, what's going on, guys? Archer Mark here, back with another Star Wars video for you. And again, I'm going back in time to a cool vintage Kenner 80s product. This is the Hoth Wampa, as featured in The Empire Strikes Back. And just cool, very, simple in the design, but very cool, very effective. It just really kind of holds up. Still looks really well. Of course, this is a pretty good version. You see different condition versions, as you go searching for these things. But we'll move them over to the side. I'll give you a look at the box here. And again, kind of light shelfware. I've seen a lot worse boxes than this. I've seen better. This one, the artwork still looks really cool on the front. Again, one of the things I love about the vintage packaging. I'll never get tired of looking at the vintage packaging. And again, one of the reasons why the vintage collection items are so cool and so popular is that throwback to that collecting, to those old images. They did those great little dioramas on the box. Just such a great idea. Whoever had that idea, deserves an award or something, because they just look so great. You have the Empire Strikes Back logo. There's the figure inside, the Hoth Wampa. And there you see the old price tag, which definitely goes back in time. Prices aren't that cheap now. And you go down here. Action figure and Tauntaun sold separately. Contents: 1 6-inch posable figure with action arms. And this is a Palitoy box. It's basically like a foreign box. This is sort of a foreign version of Kenner that put out the toys, and it was just, the artwork is pretty much the same. It's just it was a different company that put them out there. So get this side of the box. Again, another look at the Wampa itself. Empire logo, and here's the cool side, showing all the action features. See the arms. The Wampa had like this sort of like spring. It's basically like a big rubber band. So it had like a spring-loaded action, and you could pull it back and release it, and it would swat at the Tauntaun, or you can get to knock over a figure. See, pull back, then release Wampa's arm to create swinging action. Pose Wampa, you could have him throwing a figure if you want, or holding a figure, which looks cool. And again, a little fantasy situation here of Luke stuck upside down in the ice cave with the Wampa. So you relive Luke's escape from the Wampa cave. They just did a great job on this. Again, you see a little more damage up here. Again, a lot of just sort of creases and bends in the boxes. Nothing too major. One thing is, with the smaller vehicles and accessories that had these sort of these like flaps here. These would obviously weaken and be really bent, but this one is still pretty strong. This is a pretty good condition box. Overall, not too bad. I mean, this is the main focus is the imagery on the box, and it still looks nice and bright, and it's not a lot of damage like where your eye is. This, like I said, this is the focus of the box, and this is where your eye is going to be drawn, and there isn't a lot of damage on the front. It's more around the edges. Right. Now here is the big guy himself. Here is the Wampa itself. And this is a pretty nice, clean, white one. Obviously, again, with this old plastic, over the time it would deteriorate, and you see this with the Stormtroopers a lot, where you get the yellowing of the plastic. It's just through age, and just a little bit up there, but mostly this is just a nice white Wampa, which is very cool. Okay. There's no other accessories or things to get lost or broken, really. You might see where the horns would be broken a little bit. But I've never seen it. But that's the one kind of maybe in a rare occasion. You know, kids were really playing roughly with their toys. I don't know. And you can see the sculpting of the paws and the claws and the fur on this guy. It looks pretty good, you know. For back then, now they would even better. But this, for back then, it was, you know, really great. One thing with this guy, see, you get him standing like that. He does have this sort of basic pre-posed. That's just the way the legs are. There's no other articulation. It's pretty much just in the arms, and you got swivel in the hips. So you pretty much are stuck with that pose. You can't, if you try to, he's just not gonna stay up if you put the legs in any other way. So you're stuck with that. So that's one little downside, but in general, this was still a pretty cool guy. Haha, pun intended there. Cool. See what I did? Cool guy. He's from Hoth, the snow planet. And just to show you, I'm going to attempt. Now here's Luke, and we get Luke to stand up there, and I'm going to attempt to show the. Let's see if we hold the arm back and. There we go. There's your spring-loaded action. That's the one thing that's obviously it's going to wear out over time. Sometimes this one still, I got it working earlier better. So of course when the camera's on, he doesn't want to perform. It's with you. Performance issues from my Wampa. Anyway, so you basically get the idea from that, and you can. And again, you saw on the back of the box there's the action there, springs forward. So that's something to also to look at with these older vintage Wampas. That action may not be working as well, but most of the time you'll find one with it where it'll still work. But you know, so you just you take your time. Maybe not grab the first one you see. If you're looking on eBay, look at the description. Hopefully, the seller puts a good description on there and explains that if it's in there. If you're seeing one at an old toy show or a garage sale, you know, obviously you could check it out for yourself if you're there in person. Which when I'm buying vintage items, I like to get them more like where I'm there at like a toy show or a Comic-Con or something like that, because you can actually really see if there's anything wrong with it. You know, and this guy again is pretty good. Light yellow, like I said. May not be showing up on camera. And there's a little paint wear on the claws, but not a big deal. So in general, this guy's pretty well preserved. He survived the 80s pretty well. So there you go. That's it. We'll just take Luke and we'll just pose him just show a little size comparison there. So there it is, from the 80s, the Empire Strikes Back Hoth Wampa figure. I hope you enjoyed this video review, and as usual, comment, rate, subscribe. And until my next video, may the Force be with you.